Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to the Late Apex. We are here at the Apex Racing esports studio. I am joined by the lovely Jamie, and we've got a lot to cover in today. A broad section of subjects, but first things, how you doing, Jamie?
I'm pretty good, yeah. Glad to be here, filling in for Sam this week.
Correct.
So if you want to even refer to me as not Sam, just not Sam is here. That's fine as well. But yeah, really good to be here, and yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into all the news and comings and goings of the sim racing world.
Awesome. First things first, before we get into the news, this episode is brought to us by Apex Racing Sim, where the VRS wheel is back in stock. Let me bring this up on your screen so you can see what I see. £550 for the Pro, $425 for the light rim. Jamie's been using this wheel for decades. That's an understatement, right?
Well, not quite decades, but
in hours sim
in sim racing years, yeah, decades.
Decades.
So yeah, summer sale is still ongoing.
Correct.
So up to 30% off.
Like a range of products.
Range of products. So even though it's very much not summer anymore, summer sale is still ongoing. So get your stuff at apexracingsim.com.
You'll love to see it. All right, first things first. It is the title. Le Mans Ultimate finally teasing the, I want to say GT3's, but it's LM GT3's, right?
Yes.
Do they? Is it the IMSA donation is GTD?
Correct. Yes.
And these are LM GT3's where they're bopped via the virtual energy.
Yeah.
Which is a strange mechanism that we're just foreign to. But yeah. I think people overthink it, right? It is just there for the bopping. You're not meant to worry about it. You're meant to just drive.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have a video teaser. Unfortunately, it is a Twitter video. Not my favourite feature on the internet, but a feature nevertheless.
Yep.
Let's make sure the sound's on. This is like YouTube, but doesn't work.
It's like YouTube, but just terrible.
Yeah. Any identifying sounds you can pick up on?
Car engine.
Yeah.
Curbs.
What are we at Bahrain here?
We are indeed.
Yeah, these are obviously hotly anticipated. And it's really their last ticket, right? That if this doesn't work, what will? I don't want to call their update that, but that sounds good.
That sounds like Corvette to me. First car, maybe BMW M4.
Yeah, I think BMW. This is definitely doesn't sound like a BMW though, does it?
But there was two engines there.
Ah, okay.
Like the cut between the two.
Ah, see, you pick up on this stuff. Nah, I'm numb to it all, mate. I just drive.
No thoughts, just good vibes.
Yes, correct. What's your, and because obviously this is a big tick item. Let's not forget this game's based on WEC. WEC's up and coming. Like, there's always rumours about, oh, Verstappen's going to go there when he's done with, or bored with the FIA, etc., etc., etc. And so they do own a hot ticket. Physics are pretty good. Graphics look good. What do you think? How can GT3's propel it forward, or is it just much of the same?
It's a good question. It's a good point. Every sim and their granny has GT3 racing.
Yep.
So it's not a groundbreaking feature to add GT3 cars into a sim. Is it something that they need for the WEC stuff? Like, sure, yeah, like to comply with their license and so on and so forth. So it's something that they definitely need to add. But does it fundamentally change anything? We'll see. I'm hesitant.
Because you got the GTEs, right? And if anything, why would you want to add ABS?
Sure.
Like when I'm driving them, I'm like, no, RSR's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need the
exactly.
I don't need the slower ABS version of this car.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. I think as well, and it's like a side point away from anything that we're actually probably going to discuss, but Virtual Le Mans is still something in the background, at least from my perspective, is something that I've like a vested interest in.
And they have to have GT3, so right? It wouldn't work.
Exactly.
They probably wouldn't be allowed to do it.
Exactly. So if this is the step in getting that off the ground, then it's definitely a really, really good thing. As for everyone else who's not directly involved in Virtual Le Mans, and those who play the game and for what it is, it's a nice addition, but do I think it's going to handle that much differently versus a GTA? It's going to make... Is it going to be so different? I doubt it. Like, it's going to be a little bit less downforce and...
ABS.
And, yeah, the lack of... the increase... or addition, sorry, of ABS.
I'm right in saying R-Factor and R-Factor 2 never had it, right? They had the assist.
Correct.
It never was like from a manufacturer. It was all just the same, right? ABS in all the things was just a setting. Like, it wasn't built for the car you were driving, I think, in R-Factor.
I think so. Bearing in mind, I don't think I've driven a car on R-Factor or LMU that inherently has ABS in it. So I'm not even 100% sure. But yeah, I think it does then just have an assist. Maybe the BTCC cars. So I give them a whirl in RF2 for the old ERL league, which I had a lot of fun with. But yeah, that was just like an assist thing. And to be honest, we didn't run it. So we were having to trail off and just lock up into every corner.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But it's just a tease. There's no date that I've seen.
No, I would like to see a date, but no, I think all we know is really these are going to come in 2 waves and there will be a free one. And I think the free one is the BMW, and it really is just there so that you can enter any of these races.
Yeah.
But you'd have to drive the BMW.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a lot of BMWs at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because people are going to want to know if this works, right? I'm not going to pay until I jump in a race and see if they bad bop the BMW. I swear, though. I swear. But yeah, they've got a good lineup. They've got... Obviously, I get this question about tracks a lot. My dad asked me the other day, what track's going to download? I'm like, well, it's just a wet game.
Yeah.
Just the wet tracks. It will only ever be that. I think they would get lost, right, if they tried to delve. I don't...
Yeah, we're not getting Cadwell Park anytime soon.
No.
I mean, we should. Oh, imagine WEC at Cadwell Park. How hilarious would that be?
No, we get that IMSA, I think, once every blue moon.
Production Car Challenge last week went there. I was watching, I think, Matt Malone.
Matt Malone, yeah.
And my God, it's just the funniest thing. It was so good.
Yeah, it's very funny. So we aren't flush with knowledge. We do know they're getting all of them, which means they're getting, the Aston Martin. They're getting a full plethora of cars. The scans are going to look good. The graphics look good.
Yeah.
The game runs nice. I love the sound. I love the feel. I've always liked R-Factor's... I don't want to say tyre physics. I just want to say the feel of the car. The weight transfer, how
the car moves.
Yeah. I like it because the tyres feel rubbery. Does that make sense? Whereas in iRacing, it just
it's very
like a smooth, hard surface that I just heat up all the time.
Yeah. It's like a plastic tyre almost, only it is like very sensitive then to temperature.
Correct. Yeah.
Whereas ACC, or AC even, fundamentally feels like really, really, really stiff, but it's not sensitive to temperature. Not
correct.
Really.
Yeah.
So
hello
it's
to
kinda like a
Matty
big
in chat.
difference.
He said hi, Samsoid and GT4 man. Yeah, yeah, Captain GT4 over
I
here.
mean, it's an improvement or at least a shift from WRC man. So
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I loved the WRC streams.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to get back into that.
It was good. But no, I don't think there's anything more unless you've got any thoughts. I mean, I feel it's make or break. I mean, GT3 and Le Mans Ultimate, no, Le Mans Ultimate, sorry, the virtual Le Mans is all they've got left.
Yeah.
They can talk about consoles all they want. I don't feel if this doesn't work, they're not going to consoles. They're not going to go to consoles to hope. I don't see it. I feel like these are their big tickets. They need to sell the GT3s and they need Verstappen in the virtual.
Yeah.
The only reason I can see Verstappen doing it is because they gave him the opportunity to not go back on his word because it's not R-Factor 2.
That is true. Yeah.
Because if this was R-Factor 2 and they'd perfected the game, he would look bad if he went back. So
Yeah.
now he can be like, oh, it's a different game.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a creative loophole. I do like it.
Yep. I think that's it.
I will say though, this really needs released before the new WEC season.
Yeah.
I can manage it. Just get all the cars in and right, go. 2025, let's do it.
Get some polish, get the bop.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because, yeah, it was brilliant. Like the virtual Le Mans, I remember the anticipation and like what we had Baldwin and Verstappen going. Like I was excited. I think a lot of people were excited. The commentary was amazing, like everything. And then it started.
And then it started. Yeah. It has so much promise.
Yeah.
And every time that we've had it, it's sort of been a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah. Yeah, it's madness. All right, moving on. This is a big one. I feel like this is a big one because this isn't easy to do. This is why we don't see it often. And Asetek announcing their Xbox partnership. They seem very proud of this. This is brought to us by Overtake GG. And yeah, there's not much to report apart from, that it's happening. Asetek's going to Xbox. They talked about their new and existing products. Now, obviously, don't expect an old Asetek product you have lying around to just work via a software update because it is a chip usually. But yeah, I think this is going to be exciting. But obviously, we need the next step in sim racing on consoles for this to take off. But I feel like a lot of people look for this because, I mean, even the F1 game sells alone. Like their console games sell. You know, that's what they do. That's what they're designed to make serious amount of money. PC games are the ones we just take serious. I think this is exciting. We've seen a lot of PlayStation announcements in the past. Seems like PlayStation are a bit more willing to work with smaller ideas and projects and wheels and bases. But Xbox really gives it, I think, that selling marketability. I can't think of the right word, but I just plonked a few words together there. But Asetek have been making waves. Their products are solid. They've got good reach. They listen to their audience. Some of their wheel designs with how you can change the middle and keep they're innovating.
Yeah.
They're not giving up. And these big, time-consuming, expensive deals, they're pursuing them. So I think they've made... I mean, obviously, they have serious money, right? We don't know, but I mean, for those who don't know who Asetek are, I want to say every water cooler that you had in your PC, ever, anyone... a portion of the profits go to them. They own the patent on it. So money is not a problem.
I didn't know.
Yeah, all the Corsair ones, all the biggest names, the all-in-ones.
Yeah.
All those. Every PC downstairs has got one.
So I've contributed to this.
Correct. You are a shareholder, yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
So they've got money. I hear loads of rumours about them. Their partnership with SimmerCube with regards to the direct drives. I mean, I'm not saying this is news. I heard this. I heard they own so much of the proprietary SimmerCube software now that SimmerCube pay them.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, no wonder they can...
Like a license fee.
Yeah.
But they're able to now take it and develop it. That's what I heard. There's not fact. You're not getting a fact here. This is a rumor.
But it makes sense that like if they've got that kind of level of backing that they can just go to Microsoft for Xbox and like, right...
Yeah, and this stuff takes time. Like how many times do we hear announce a manufacturer saying, "Oh, we want to do PlayStation support, we want to do Xbox support," and yeah, like you're going to sell thousands of these wheels, and it just doesn't come. Like you're using words, like announcing things. These things are meticulous, take time, expensive. You need the context. But yeah, they're making waves. It's so different to when I started. There are so many quote unquote big names now in the sim racing hardware space.
Yeah.
I mean, back it was just Fanatec at the beginning. Like that was.
Oh, that was it. It was Fanatec, and then there was Leo Bodner for your wheelbase at like $6,000 a pop or whatever it was.
Yep. So it's nice to see because yeah, and I don't know, the Sim Expo I went to might as well have been named after them. They had a prototype there that would fire up every now and then. They had the center of the area, lights, music, awesome setup, rigs everywhere.
Yeah.
And
not less of that, and it's more, yeah. Well, I mean, the space is a lot more saturated now than what it once was.
Yeah.
Certainly back, even going back 5 years, it's a lot more packed than what it once was. But Asetek seem to be stepping up and stepping on, and sort of taking.
Yeah, we don't know what profits are like
big
because
stance on it.
they're just making waves.
Yeah.
They've got the money to make waves. They're doing it this way and then see how what it's like when the dust settles. I really don't know of their profits or how effective all this is being, but yeah, good luck to them. We need competition always.
Yeah.
Up next, Asetek Corsa EVO. I think I just mocked this exact phrase. Coming to consoles. Yeah. Now, while I can believe this one, I got this article from Boxes Lab. That is a lovely photo, by the way. I don't know if you've seen all the renders of the game.
It's lush, isn't
It
it?
looks beautiful. The reason why, when people ask me, I get this question a lot. I used to build games, so I know a lot about the fundamentals of the game engines. I know why. When you update one of your apps on your phone, why it tells you your phone is now not supported. It's not the company being evil. There are lots of layers,
Yeah.
and your app or whatever you build is here. And unfortunately, you ain't going to build this part of the pie.
Yeah.
Asetek Corsa EVO are, however, this is their game engine. So if they've done this from scratch with this vision in mind this early, then I can believe it's coming to consoles.
Yeah.
When Le Mans Ultimate telling me they're bringing it to console, I'm like, wait, what, the R Factor 2 code base from years and years and years? And no, you're not. Yeah, like.
And bear in mind that R Factor 2 was built off of the original R Factor, which goes back to 2005 or whatever it was. Like,
yeah, it's just too. It's too much to picture why they would put that much work in. I feel like the vision needs to be there from the beginning. Otherwise, it is what it is. It's a port.
Yeah.
You're jamming it in to just fit, squash the bugs, hide the rest, and then you call it a console release. That's a port.
Yeah.
And ports never work. They just feel janky. They run slow. Optimization's not there. They get updates slow. A bit like ACC. ACC almost pulled it off. They really did.
Yeah.
But there was massive limitations. They couldn't just... Every feature had to be assessed, benchmarked, and then either just silently never come, or hopefully down the line. But I put this in because I like talking about Asetek Corsa EVO. I'm excited for this. They've obviously we know a little bit more about the daily racing, but with them looking to maximize profit with Xbox and PlayStation release, they can make money. They can get into the fight. Because I always say, this is why I always push for the iRacing business model. Obviously, most companies don't seem to want to do this because I want the company that I'm liking and using to make money.
Yeah.
Because then I know deep down that things are good because they need to look after me. I always feel like iRacing has to look after me because otherwise I'll stop paying.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel with ACC, once I've bought it, they're like, okay, what else can I jam down your throat later in time? I don't like that feeling. I want them to want me as a customer, not to resell things to me each time. So this is a good money-making opportunity for massive money-making opportunity. That we've done this before, obviously with ACC being on console. I think I know lots of people have that. They play with a controller, mind you.
Yep.
But what's your feelings on Asetek Corsa? From what you've seen, obviously we don't know a ton.
Yeah, we don't know much. They're making the right noises. Obviously, we were concerned that they'd push things back, but it's looking more like for a good reason rather than the whole thing's in jeopardy kind of a thing. They're biting off a lot. Let's see if they can chew it.
Yeah, well said.
But yeah, the move to console is promising. We'll see how. Obviously, it's like we're just gonna have to wait and see what.
Yeah.
Like, is it going to be anywhere near the PC version or?
True. If we can get cross-play support.
Yeah.
Obviously, with a wheel, I don't want to be driving against controller. Daily racing expansion would be massive, right? If we could race against all the PlayStation users on a Fanatec, you know, and the Xbox users using the Asetek stuff they just got, that would be cool. That boosts the number. I don't want to race controller users, even if they're fast. I don't like the way they move. It's too much. They move too much.
It's a little inconsistent. I remember racing way back in the day. I was one of those. The wheel versus controller debate of F1 2013, where at some tracks, if you weren't a controller, you were just so much quicker than a wheel. And
yeah, because sometimes you could put hairpin inputs in that you just can't do on a wheel.
Yeah. But weirdly, I think it was like Monaco was always a wheel track, because if you had to make any micro correction on a controller, like, you're done for. But a track like Silverstone, because of the way that it was coded, like if you put full lock in with your it puts the correct amount of steering angle for the speed that you're going, basically. So like you're always just maximizing grip through high-speed corners.
We talked about this recently with, and a few weeks ago, there was some cheating scandal in F1 with regards to V-joy in a control. So you're using a wheel, but you're using the controller's throttle and stuff like this. Very clever.
Yeah. Dodgy stuff like that. Yeah. So hopefully, yes, sort of back on the AC Evo train here. Hopefully, it all kicks off in the right direction, because from that article that you had linked to, 40% of their sales were console based. Like that's a lot.
It's just so much money in it.
It's so much. So it has to work.
100%. I'm excited. It looks like, everything else aside, the graphics just look like what I've always wanted to feel when I'm sim racing. But let's see if my poor computer can keep up. This is one I don't have much knowledge about. You might have actually more than me. Forza update, the next gen NASCARs. We've got a video.
Yeah, we'll pull it up.
Really does look good.
Yeah, the Forza games, though, like, consistently look.
Scenes there didn't actually. Some of that stuff looked basic, but some of the cinematic moves looked pretty sweet. I don't know much about this, but what do you know?
Oh, I honestly don't think I know much more than what you do.
I don't play Forza. I always keep up with what's happening to report. But update 14 is the next gens. I don't know much about tracks. I do not own the game. I used to play this back for LMP1 time trialing.
Yes.
Oh, you found the article?
I have found the article. I just want to switch it to self there. So, yeah, we've got the three.
Oh, okay, all three.
All three 2024 stock cars there. So the Chevy, the Ford, and the Toyota. We have. It's Indy currently in the game. Not actually 100% sure. And then we've got a fictional speedway oval type thing.
Yeah, man, it's easy to forget how much iRacing owns. We forget iRacing's a NASCAR sim with some road.
Yes.
Like it's
fundamentally, yeah.
Yeah. How much they have over there. Was you ever a Forza player?
Once upon a time, the first and second Forzas were my stomping ground.
Motorsport 2. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think there's any better game of my teenage years than Forza Motorsport 2.
I think it was
unbelievably good.
I think I spent maybe a year of my life battling with my friends for, I think it was, I want to say LMP1, but I don't know what prototype it was, at Barcelona, and we were just texting, I suppose, back then, SMSing back then.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how we did this. Our lap times, yeah. On the subject of console sales, this proves why the motivation for what we want is so low. Because they make millions. Why would they want to invest in an industry where they know there's a lot less money to be made? And we're more naggy and more opinionated.
It's a fantastic question. So I had the privilege of going to AMG towards the tail end of last year,
Right.
you know, through the team, and got chatting to, you know, some of their like marketing people about like how they sort of like all the numbers behind, you know, getting Mercedes into video games, and then what that costs, like return on investment and stuff. And sim racing is just a massive money pit for them, but it's what they truly are, like high performance,
yeah, exactly.
the detail and the realism. But like their biggest money maker as such, like by an extraordinary margin, is the mobile games.
Oh, for sure.
By because there's so little work that actually needs to go into it. Whereas like the amount of work that needs to go into like an accurate tire model and accurate handling physics in a sim, versus the return for like the 2% of people who in a gaming space are involved in it, like it's crazy.
When I heard about the iRacing Arcade, that's their pseudonym. They haven't named it yet, but iRacing Arcade, where they're going to utilize all their licenses to make a mobile racing game on the likes of that. What was the game called? Superstar Race Speedway.
Oh gosh, yeah.
The mobile game. It's hugely popular. I can see it. And actually, to Logi's question in chat, do Forza have to play NASCAR or iRacing? So there's usually 3 different licenses: desktop license, console license, mobile license. And I did say them in price order. The mobile license is very expensive. They wouldn't have to pay iRacing, no. So iRacing have the desktop license for iRacing, and then the new NASCAR game, obviously iRacing's partner, who they own, Is it Monster? No, not Monster Games. Or is it Monster Games? Who's making the latest iRacing game? Is it Monster? Yeah, iRacing acquire Monster Games. Yeah, so Monster Games are in development of the console version of the new NASCAR title, which iRacing own. But I wouldn't know. I don't know if there's an exclusive mobile license. Mobile licenses are hella expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're usually split in 3. And yeah, like Jamie mentioned, you usually don't give away your exclusive. There's no, unless someone's got a lot of money. Mobile games make a ton of money.
Yeah.
But let's not forget it. Apple, funny statement, off track it a little bit, but Apple call themselves the largest gaming company on the planet. Because we make billions. We make billions.
Yeah.
Who else makes billions? And we don't even make games.
Yeah. It's crazy. But like technically they're right. Technically.
Yeah. So yeah, exciting stuff. Moving on, Project Motor Racing, where we've been following this from the beginning. So Ian Bell, yep, obviously behind. Was it Forza? No,
it was Project Cars.
Project Cars, thank you. And then before that, it was those. What was the games? Project Cars, and before Project Cars was the GTR games. The
Project Gotham, was it?
I'm trying to remember. Started with GTR, then Project Cars, GT Legends. Yeah, he's been a big name in the sim racing space forever. He knows his stuff. We followed episode 1 and 2. This one's called... Let me see. Drivers Wanted. So we've had the Stig on here. They're spending a lot of money. This is about 5 minutes long. I'm not going to play it all, but I just want to give you a feel.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had, I think Adrian Newey was in the first one. We had the Stig, who's working with them to test cars and then jump in the sim and try it out. There's a few interview segments. Here we go.
We get a lot of subjective feedback.
So one thing to mention, this is straight for the engine is now using the engine from Farm Simulator. Okay, carrying on. I find that funny to share.
And if they can then back-to-back from the real car to the sim, they can start saying where they think it feels different, and then it's kind of our job to try and work out why. It's getting those subjective statements and trying to work out what to do with them, but we need drivers.
I like everything this company's saying. They even used iRacing as the online benchmark to gauge themselves.
Yeah. It's highly ambitious.
Yeah, I mean, when he said about cars and tracks, his answer was everything you could expect a sim to have, we're And I just found that true. How? How did you afford Monza, Spa, Brands, GT3's, LMDH's? You know, how did you afford the works?
Yeah.
And everything they always show the IRL cars, which is also again interesting. They show their drivers driving it, jumping in sims, testing it, comparing it, going to different tracks. They've had really cool people. The thing to mention here we go.
We've mentioned before that straightforward we're running the physics at 720 hertz, but I'd like to
720 hertz. iRacing's at 60. Okay, carrying on.
say a little bit more about what that means. And the fact that
Just, I'll butt in there. 720 hertz.
Yep.
How are any of us going to run this, physics-wise, like, and have it not be like just a drain on our PCs?
No. The FFB.
Oh, the FFB is?
Yeah. 720 FFB updates a second.
My poor hands.
Because I think, well, we got iRacing at 60. Well, 360 with, you know, yeah.
Interpolation, really.
Yeah, 60 for iRacing. That is what they're at.
Yeah.
And then you've got AC at like 300 R Factor 2, I think at 420. Le Mans Ultimate, I think 420. Rennsport.
400.
400. We had one announce 1,000, but their sim's crazy. Like we're so far from understanding anything they're doing. But yeah, 720 out the box.
moving the vehicle, we're updating the tyres, information, suspension, all of that sort of things. But we've got more going on than that. So the driveline itself, so this is like a one-dimensional rotation of all the engine parts, the gearbox, differentials, and the wheels. That actually runs
10 times faster.
7,200 hertz. And the new internal combustion
Okay.
engine model that we
Okay.
have is actually very much quicker than that. So we actually...
My human hands can definitely interpolate 7,200 ABS updates a second.
Yes, I'm definitely gonna be able to feel 7,200 updates a second. I'm gonna know all about that.
They love this lister. I don't think there's anything else to show you, but it's... You can see they are sparing no expense on these videos and the interviews and the people they're bringing in to talk and the marketing. That, like, I'm excited and I like the idea of this video series.
It looks good, but it's also Ian Bell stuff.
Yes.
Where
say everything.
It says everything, loads of promise, looks good, and then, oh, project's over, on to the next thing. Which is sort of historically how it's been with him.
Correct, yeah.
So I reserve judgment until I see something in sim.
Yeah, I agree.
And actually, I'll reserve judgment until I can try it. For me, like, looking at it, it's like, okay, yeah, it's nice, but until I get it in my hands, I don't really have that strong of an opinion, unless it, like, visually looks terrible or amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So we've not seen anything in sim yet. It's just talk right now.
Yeah.
It's third video. It looks and sounds impressive.
I find the name
back it up.
awkward. ProjectMotorRacing. It feels, I don't know. PMR, maybe we'll be calling it forever. I don't know.
I mean, we shorten everything. Like,
yes.
Settle Corsa Competizione is quite a mouthful, but ACC isn't. So
yeah,
we probably will just end up calling it PMR.
Yep. Okay, moving on to another sim. We've covered this sim plenty. Every update we have covered on this podcast. And it is PISTA Motorsports, which is basically the Argentinian, I think it's Argentinian, all the cars and series that happens over there. So quick backstory, these are the people that were making AC mods, decided to make their own sim. Now, I will say, the video I first saw, like they released the beta and like a whopping less than 10 people bought it and paid for it. But the one person uploaded a YouTube video I thought they were taking the AC and like done a deal or done something with AC to then go forward. It looked like it would look like R-Factor 1.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, without too much mocking, my wife's brilliant at 3D modeling, which means I'm okay.
Yeah.
I could have definitely modeled a car with higher accuracy than the car I saw on screen. It was so bad.
Yeah.
There's no AI, there's no nothing. It just feels like there's a car, there's a track, and the two are not part of each other. The lighting, even the lighting, something didn't feel right. Like the car wasn't there.
Yeah. I mean, looking at what I've just seen here, so this is the first I've actually really seen of it. I don't think I could 3D model it better, but I'm also not very good at 3D modeling.
Pictures do look good.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give you that. These pictures look good. I'm talking about the YouTube video I saw of actually someone driving the damn thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think this is a free update. 2 new cars and 1 track. There aren't going to be anything we've heard of, really. The Calenio F600 and the Formula 2 Argentina. But that's what it is focused. It is focused for the fans of Argentinian racing, and that's their primary focus.
Yeah.
I said in the last episode, they should scrap this, get building the mods for AC Evo, and hope there's a store where they can make money, and they'd make more money selling mods for AC Evo.
Yeah. That would make the most sense. But, you know, fair play to them for giving it a crack. And
I'd love to do what they're doing. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, how good.
Yeah. Build my own sim.
Yeah.
And then get an esport guy to tell me all the things that are wrong with it and think, oh, I don't know how to fix any of that.
And you get very traditional esport feedback, which is, this is crap.
Yes.
And that's me using a very diplomatic word there.
Unless I'm set in purples. So, yeah, let's see. I'll check their Steam sales. Let's go. How is it going for them? Since the update, have they had a... how do you spell this?
PISTA.
PISTA Motorsport.
There you go.
Charts. Yes, 2 people are... There was a bit of a spike in the last... Look at this.
Oh, amazing.
This is a trend that will just keep going forever. Although it's a little bit down today. We'll see. I mean, a peak of 35 at the moment, they've got no money. They spent more on the website. So it's a bit of a problem, but let's see how it goes for them. Okay, in good news, I like this news. ACC have released a bundle called the Ultimate Bundle. I think it's on sale for 50 quid. It is every single DLC. And I think for £50, I think it's an easy recommendation, right? For 50 quid.
For 50 quid.
Every
sure.
DLC.
Yeah, sure. Does this scream, oh, game is very much the end of life?
Correct.
And we're not going to be supporting this in a few months? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
For what you get, fundamentally, is it a cracking deal? Absolutely.
Yeah. I heard when they were talking about AC Evo, they did talk about bringing 1 more tyre physics update. I know they called the last one the final, but obviously it's been so hated.
Yeah.
I heard
that
they're looking to bring 1 more to apologise.
Just roll it back to the one they had before and think everyone would be fairly happy.
Happy enough, yeah.
Yeah.
You
could live with that.
But yeah, 50 quid. Let me just check if it's still running right now.
It'd be really inconvenient if it wasn't.
There you go. Oh, I've... Wow. Wait, you need to get it now. There's no way you should pay 146 quid for it.
For the entire thing? No.
No. So 50 quid, 65% off. Yeah.
Well, bear in mind, that was originally 30% off, if I'm looking at that correctly, or am I looking at it wrong? So 30% off. Jeez, yeah. And it's not for 50 quid. It's for 50 quid, 55 pence. Scammed.
I know. I've let you down.
Horrible.
I think there's some things I don't even know. I never bought the GT2's.
Neither did I.
Because, you know.
I never bought the 24 NERB.
I bought the rest.
I bought some of the track packs because I needed them for ERL, and that was it. It's the only reason why I actually ever played the game. I put like 40 hours into it. Honestly, quite enjoyed it. Enjoyed it for what it was. Just performance-wise, it was a little bit scuffed, and some of the server issues were frustrating. But fundamentally, as a game, enjoyable. I didn't have too many major complaints with it. It could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, on the streaming side, when I jumped into Low Fuel Motorsports the first time and I realised what this was and I was registering, man, I had a blast. Like, I had super fun, right? It was good racing. I was working my way up through the splits and the tracks were... It's a pretty game. Like, I enjoyed it. I was woefully slow, though. Because if you take your iRacing skills there, you've got no skills.
Oh, you've got to drive it the complete opposite.
Correct.
There's a lot of mash brake, come off brake, turn in, wait, then apply the throttle. So there's quite a bit of coasting in the game.
Right, yeah.
I find, for me.
I was woefully slow. I remember saying on stream, it was like Spa, and I was in, I don't know, Ferrari GT3, and they put me in split 7. I was like, easy win. Like, I don't see how I could lose this.
It's split 7. How hard can it be?
I'm qualified 4-8. I'm like, okay, just race pace, and I'm just drifting back from the back.
It's like, what is this?
Yeah, it's amazing though that association though makes me hate the game.
Yeah,
because it's a racing game. Being fast is why we like a track or a car.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So it is. Jamie's 100% right. End of life sale. That's what they should have called it, but they're not going to. It's the Ultimate Edition, and it is a really good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, like for what you get, fantastic. But AC was obviously then very near and pretty much around the corner.
Yeah, very excited for that. All right, some more news. Gran Turismo on the PS5 Pro, and this is before the enhanced edition dropped. Users have found that they can already, because of the power of the PS5 Pro,
the speed, the power.
Correct. So Gran Turismo users in the past have always been able to pick between basically high FPS or high resolution.
Yeah.
Like the HDR something comes in. Anyway, basically.
Ray tracing and all of
that. They found they can use both. And I thought this was interesting. 4K, 120 hertz on a console. Admittedly, it's not triples or a 49, but I mean, that's promising, right? I mean, because face it, what we have can't be the future. It can't be a 2000 PC, triple screens, a massive giant metal rig. That can't be the actual future, because it needs to end up in kids' bedrooms, every kid's bedroom.
Yeah.
It needs to be foldable. It needs to be rigid. It needs to work with a DD. All of this needs to be cheap and easy and work with a console, I feel.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. 100% agree. This is the first step, I think, towards that. At least performance-wise. Then obviously, the hardware becomes a concern, and we need to find a way to basically have a fully fledged sim rig that can then fit in your pocket in 20 years' time. Just fold it out and it just just expands out.
Expands.
Something the size of your phone, and you just press a button and it just.
I can hear you telling your team what you want them to build. I just want it to expand.
Yeah.
And it's a fully fledged metal.
Yeah.
Rigid.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and obviously that's an exaggeration, but something more portable, or at least, more portable than what we've got, something that doesn't take up quite as much space, or something that can be closed down, put away.
I do
is the way forward.
Feel with the 49-inch screens being driven down in price. I mean, they are really coming down in price. I can feel like that's a glimpse of sim racing future, because it's so much smaller. People, they're big monitors, but compared to triples, and you've almost got, I mean, you compete at the tippity top at Rennsport on a 49, you know.
I'm even still driving iRacing now on the CM49, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? Is it an advantage to have the extra 2 screens for side-by-side racing? Yeah, sure. But for everything else, no difference. Yeah. No difference at all.
For qualifying, it's not a hindrance.
Yeah, exactly.
So exciting. Let's see where console can take. I mean, I think I secretly still wait for Gran Turismo to announce their PC super serious, no more far chase driving, controllers don't work version. I'd love to see it, because they have the audience.
Yeah.
I mean, iRacing, it would. No, actually, I'm not going to compare them. That's insane. It's like me comparing me and you in racing. It shouldn't be compared. It's not allowed.
Closer than you think. Closer than you think. Based off how you're doing at Sebring this week, probably closer than you think.
Thank you, sir. I'm doing that at 40 FPS as well. I would love for them to take it serious, because they can have any license they want.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if it's already been sold for 4 years exclusive with a promise. Yeah. If they phone we want it, and they're like, okay, we'll work it out.
Yeah. Yep. We'll do that.
So
absolutely.
They can have anything they want. They can have the tracks they want. They can invest in future things. They could buy in one of the hardware companies. Yep. They don't need any help.
Yep.
I just want them to take it serious. I get why they don't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid. Yep. If they just focused Gran Turismo 7, all they do is lose money.
Yeah.
Them keeping it wide angled is making them millions.
Yep.
I just want to see a rendition that's
like a pure sim.
Correct.
That's what you want. Yeah, it'll never go that way. They've set out their stall. They set out their stall 25 years ago.
Yeah, and they were right.
And they were right. Look at them now. Still the biggest racing game on the planet, I would argue.
And imagine making the announcement: no controller users. They have shareholder stance too. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Why are you alienating 98% of our customer base? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? So, like, I totally get it.
Yeah. I just would like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see what they could do.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a shame. I think that's everything sim racing news. So we had, for anyone missed it, we had the LMU teasing the GT3's, Asetek with their Xbox partnership, Asetek Corsa EVO pinky promising it will come to consoles.
Yep.
Forza with the next gen NASCARs, ProjectMotorRacing with episode 3 of their "We're going to sell you our game" thing video series, PISTA Motorsport, more cars and a track, ACC Ultimate Bundle, 50 quid for everything. And then, Gran Turismo 4K 120 hertz without the patch. So, just to add to that, there is a patch coming for improved everything on this beastly PS5 Pro.
Certainly is. So, all systems go then with that. So, hopefully it all works.
Yes.
That's the important thing.
All right. Apex Racing team news. And I suppose number one to talk about is F4. And you tell me.
Yeah, the guys absolutely smashed it all season.
Their names were all over the top, right?
Yeah, just absolutely bossed it. So Luke McKeown is the F4 esports world champion. And,
amazing.
I probably already sound more thrilled about that than he probably sounds about it. He's the most even-keeled human being I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Just no fluctuation. He's like, oh yeah, I won. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty decent.
Cool.
Decent season. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
he's won
I've got
the championship for goodness sake.
standings here.
So it came down to the wire between him and Alejandro. Alejandro got caught up in an incident in the final race, which obviously you hate to see it sort of end that way for him. But any of the top three very much deserving of the championship. Hugh Barter as well for us in 5th, and then Gordy down in P7. He just got it about how his season went, but he still picked up a race win. Equipped himself brilliantly, as he always does. Just, didn't quite fall for him. But that's, 5 of our guys in the top 10.
That's amazing. I need to get the F4 dock, the ART dock, please.
It's fixed up, I thought.
It's fixed. It's unbelievable. So they're just cooking?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're just cook.
Wow.
So, they got it all figured out. There's still like little bits of like quali strat stuff, nothing massive, but enough where it does make a difference. But I seen how those guys were operating. So bearing in mind as well, you only got the tracks for the weekend around 24 hours before the first race.
And it's 2 tracks, right?
2 tracks as well. So just how the guys would have hunkered together and it's like, right, let's figure out everything from quali strat to race pace to, all right, we'll get test races done. Just super efficient start to finish, and that's what brought those guys the results that they did. And top 3 lockout, Luke McKeown with the championship. Oh, excellent stuff. Really, really proud of the guys.
Yeah, it was great to see. I loved some of the battles. I saw, was it Spa? The 3 of them almost 3 wide. Gordy, Luke, and Alejandro.
Yeah, it is such a terrifying spot to be in whenever you're 3 wide with your teammates in a race that matters. It is tough going. And it doesn't always work out, and that's a frustrating thing. You want to race hard, but you're racing teammates, and you don't want to rub each other up the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because you have to work with these guys then for the next week, the next race.
Yeah.
So it's tough that way, but I think they managed it pretty well, and super results all around.
That's mega. Congrats to Luke. He's an animal. I've always known he's an animal. He was an animal. He's always been an animal, and now he's showing. Oh, he's been showing for a while. Everything he drives, he's near the tippity top. It's great to see. In other news, IMSA Esports. Now, before I show it, question.
Yes.
Where are the LMP2s?
There are no LMP2s.
Okay, different question. Why are there no LMP2s?
I don't make the rules. There's no LMP2s. I guess because we've got so many.
It's crazy though, right? Yeah, it's an IMSA format. And IMSA definitely confirmed LMP2 for the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's strange, but I'm not sure why. But I guess they wanted to really push yeah, everyone's sort of in different cars.
True.
So
True.
Yeah, if we pull up the
This is the
list.
entry list. So Apex Racing team do have an invite. We've got
So yeah, we have a car that qualified in for GTP, one that qualified in for GTD, and then one in GTD as well that got the invite through winning Petit Le Mans.
wow. So how does it work? How do you get into this? Is it just an invite basis?
No, so there were
There were
yeah, there were qualifiers. There was time attack qualifiers where you had to basically register, sign up that you were part of a team, and they took your laps from time attack. The top 12 teams in GTP, which is like that's crazy tough, and the top 28 teams in GTD, a little bit more, generous, made it in. But there were some big names who didn't even make it in. I think there was Drago cars in GTP that didn't make it in, and neither of the Ferrari esports cars made it in at all, let alone into their own actual car. So they're not even on the grid.
Unbelievable. I registered and did some time attacks.
Yeah.
I saw it up and I was like, oh, Fuji, GTP. I was like, I did Indy 6 recently, or Indy 10.
yeah.
How hard can it be? So I loaded my dock, loaded the fuel, and I was like, here we go. And did 10 laps. And I was like, I'll check. If I'm close, then I'll go again. Whoa.
Levels.
Yeah.
For one brief moment, so I'm not actually in the car. Well, actually, I will say this. I'm racing in IMSA this season, which is crazy. I didn't think I would actually ever be back in this position, but here we are. I'm at least doing the first round, and if I'm doing more, then something has happened, but I'm doing the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the car with Alejandro and Salva.
Wow. Nice team.
So that's the car that got entered in.
Do you have to be in the Mercedes?
Well, we are. We've got the entry list there. So that was the first part of the qualifying. The second part was the car shootout. So everyone basically nominated their car of choice that they wanted to qualify in. Top 4 of each car gets their pick, and everyone else then gets assigned. So I think there only was maybe like 3 or 4. No, there was 4 entries for the Merc. So everyone who actually set a valid run, 10-lap run, no off tracks.
Yeah.
And both drivers needed to do that for it to count as a legit entry. So yeah, there's only 4 teams out of the list of GTDs there that went in the Merc, so everyone got their spot, but that wasn't the case for every car. So I think nobody did a run in the Lambo. Nobody wanted to run the Lambo this season.
Wow.
So everyone that's in a Lambo, I'm fairly sure, has been assigned that they tried to qualify in or be entered into the series in a different car. So quite an interesting way of doing it.
What was the most popular entry? McLaren? Ferrari?
That or the Porsche? I don't know.
Oh, really?
Maybe the Ford as well. Ford is quite popular.
Yeah,
has been quite popular in recent weeks. So yeah, we've got quite a mix there. But I think all of the manufacturer entries, minus Ferrari, because again they didn't make it through even the first stage. Everyone's kind of got the car that they wanted, or at least sort of obliged to run. So it would look really weird if we showed up as our team name, which is Mercedes AMG Esports Team ART, and then ended up in the like Corvette or something like that. That would be like, trust me, we would have still ran as Mercedes AMG.
Yeah.
Just as a like, this is really annoying, but no, we got the car of choice, and
that's
we're
great.
all quite pleased with that.
Who's the other team for GTD?
So it's Johan, Pete, and Luca's backup.
Right.
I
And
think
do you
we've
know?
actually announced that, but that's the gist of it. And then for GTP, all French lineup of Maxence, Maxime, and Marshall Hubert from ARA, who's helping us out as well. So,
that's good.
yeah, that's our lineup. I don't even think we've actually published that, but that's what's happening. So you got it. You
We're
heard it
leaking
here first. Yeah.
Yes. No, that's good. I love
the gist of it.
I love the element of the manufacturer spreading out because it looks great.
Yeah.
Now I get they tried this for the split, so I don't want to talk about that because I was in that damn Fuji race where I'm in split 2. I prepped like I get it, but it was just a little bit demotivating. I was just so far off pace.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have been. And there was a team in the split, I should have been just absolutely smashed it by 1,000 miles because they should have been driving where I am.
Yeah. It's
it didn't work.
Yeah, I have strong feelings on that I'm not going to share right now because I will not keep my composure.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is everything that we had to discuss, unless you know any more Apex news that I am not privy to. I think that's everything. Is the indie still happening? Or is that done now?
No, we still have Indy. I would hope Lewis sent you over everything.
Let me look. Sorry.
For the IndyCar stuff. So yeah, it's still happening, still ongoing. We had, I think it was Gateway last week, if I got that right.
You are correct.
Yes, I'm paying attention. So mixed bag for our guys on the oval side of things. It's such a challenging series to try and get across. Sorry, yeah, that's the F4 race results from Watkins.
That's the F4. I am terrible. Although that does look like... Oh, yeah, here we go. I don't have the...
Yeah, just well, no.
There we go. Doesn't have the top 3, mind you.
We weren't in top 3.
Okay.
That I can answer. So Pete got 11th. I think Luke got taken out, and
it looks tough this series.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just brutal. So yeah, if you don't have the absolute raw pace in qualifying, it's quite hard to work your way forward in Indy. It's not straightforward.
Yeah.
Dirty air is like a massive part of it. It's hard to work your way through. And if you're starting further back, that's probably where your pace is anyway. Like you're not like completely blowing qualifying laps. Usually it's a fairly consistent thing.
Yeah.
There's no tire prep stuff either really with Indy. That's road or oval. That's the one tire that it is like really good is the IndyCar tire model.
Yeah, and they've got the dual compounds. I love it to watch. It just makes for good racing.
But it's tough going. Tonight the guys are at Laguna Seca. That's going to be just, can you get the car up towards the front? And then no one's really overtaking there, I would have thought.
Yeah.
But strategy then, might become a factor as well. So I'm not sure exactly how
I like that combo.
looking. But
I've done that unofficially. There was that unofficial series. I don't know if it still is. The old Delara one.
Oh, Delara Dash.
Oh, whenever it's at Laguna, oh my
so
God.
much fun, wasn't it?
Tear your arms off, though, if you don't dial in your FFB.
Yeah. Great car as well.
Yeah, some of the strongest FFP.
Logie, they're just mentioning on the LMU thing, they release a date of December for one track and some GT3 and Q1 2025 for the rest. So that's...
When's the WEC season?
Usually they start like pretty early in 2025. February?
Feb.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's... Yeah, if they can get everything out before the Qatar race, then happy days.
Happy days. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, thanks for that, Logie. All right, I think that's everything. Once again, this episode has been brought to us by Apex Racing Sim, apexracingsim.com. These will... Hold on, sorry. I've got so much open. It is actually untrue now. I'll let Jamie hold that and do the wiggling.
I'll hold the wheel. Look at the shiny.
Right. I've got 40 Chrome windows open. I wondered why it was going slow, actually. Here we go. Jamie's done brilliant. 550 for the one Jamie is holding in his hands and 425 for the light version. So, yeah, thank you. And make sure to check out apexracingsim.com. All right, I think that's everything. Thank you very much for tuning in. Myself and Jamie will be broadcasting the Apex Racing prototypes in... hour and a half, 2 hours. I forget the
2.5 hours.
2.5. Yeah. Jamie's right.
That.
Yeah, around that sort of time. But if not, we'll be back in a week doing the late Apex again. So make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Obviously, you can also check it out on podcast platforms like the Apple Podcast and Spotify for the more modern. Yeah, for the more modern goers.
I think we expect Sam to replace not Sam for next week. So.
Oh, okay.
I think Sam will be back.
Excellent.
But I've deputized to the best of my ability here.
You've done fantastic. All right, I think that's everything. I don't know how I do the sign off. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, and we'll be back next week. Ciao.
So yeah.